Hello, James. Get back. I'm doing well, and how about you? Everything going well for you, James? Thank you. This is kind of my version of Batman. Yes, I have been doing daily live streams, usually earlier in the day for me, but today I'm doing one. Hello, gaming kiddo. Yeah, today I did one when I got home earlier from work and thought I would do one more before I'm done for the day. Have you been doing daily live streams as well, James? Yeah, I saw that from the notifications that you're usually doing one every day. Thank you everyone for taking a few minutes to join the GCI live stream. Tonight I am working on a version of Batman that I kind of came up with. It's the brown bat. Different than the regular Batman. This one's from London, England. That's where he does his crime fighting. And mechanical bat wings. Thank you very much, James. Biomechanical bat wings that he uses for actual flight through London. I have a lot of, well, not a lot, but some subscribers from London. James is one of them. Yeah, I used to do all the Powerpuff Girls once in a while. They were pretty popular. Yes, you are the one that suggested that. And it really helped my channel to grow if I took your suggestion. So I got this pencil drawing done earlier today, and now a new technique of coming in and blocking out all the completely black areas. I do that next before I start the line work. Yes, your suggestion was very helpful, James. I looked for it today, Nismo. I did not see it. When did you send it? Thank you, Nismo. I'm glad you like the brown bat. Hello, Mia Zoe. Thanks for joining. thank everybody for taking a few minutes to stop by the GCI live stream where I do a lot of DC content. Now I'm working on the inking process on a version of Batman that I've developed called the Brown Bat. He's a crime fighter from England instead of Gotham. And I've developed my own inking process where I go in and do the... Thank you, Nismo. I've been doing the inking, the blocking in of the dark areas first. Go right ahead. Yep, Hone Executioner, that's two of my original characters I've developed. And Nismo, as I call him, that's not the correct pronunciation of his name. He likes to run with my ideas and make comics out of them. Yes, it is. That is all part of the GCI comic universe. Nothing published, but a lot of ideas that are in the works. Yeah, be sure to give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already, to all the visitors coming in and out. Typically do live stream much earlier in the day before people are awake in my part of the world, but thought I would get a live stream in earlier hour. Let's see, I've got, one of my first ones was Meteor Boy, kind of a spin-off. There's been a few different versions of that, similar to that, but got his powers from a meteorite. And Meteor Boy eventually became Supernova. Hello, little Zempler. Thanks for joining again. Appreciate all your help, Zempler. Yeah, so Meteor Boy was part of the, what we called the Peacemakers, my brother and I. We were developing our universe. Hey, Nick. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for joining. Trying to show some people some more of the, as Nismo calls it, the GCI universe. This brown bat character, part of that. And of course, the Executioner's part of that. Hone is part of that. I have not seen that one. No, I haven't. Okay, I got some of the main areas blacked out, so I'm going to go in with some of the line work now. Six in the morning, huh? Here it is 6:33 in the evening. So I'm doing a few of the details on this brown bat suit. I think his biomechanical wings are my favorite part of this here. Having bat with some actual bat wings is cool, I think. I'm going to get some of this silhouette sketched in. Thanks, Nick. Adjust that hand a little bit. That was pretty rough the way I did it initially. Yeah, so I had the characters, the Radar, he was kind of like a blind superhero who was using type of radar slash sonar. Kind of similar, I guess, to Daredevil-ish. Most superheroes are based in a pre-existing hero. When you're trying to make a new one, it's hard to come up with a new one. Completely new. Like I had the Human Rock, which is basically a hero like the Thing. And a lot of other, it's hard to remember them all now. It's been a long time since I've thought about them. One called Super X. Again, sounds very familiar to other superheroes. Yeah, so I'm focusing mostly, of course, on DC characters. You have another channel called Gibson Book, where I'm focusing or trying to focus more on the Marvel side of things. So anybody who's interested in Marvel, if you'd like to check that out, I'm at 49 subscribers on that one. When I get to 50, I can start doing live streams of Marvel characters too. But my first and greatest and most favorite is the DC characters. Superman, Batman. Yeah, so if one of you guys could get over there, give me a sub on Gibson Book, then I could start streaming on that channel as well. Had a few people bring up the thought of maybe doing a tutorial videos, and if anybody would be interested in that, if you could let me know. See if I could get some interest in a tutorial. Thank you very, very much, Simpler. All right, that's it. I'll lose any subs between now and the time I get back on there. Yeah, I uploaded the Absolute Dark Side on the Gibson Book, just trying to maybe get some interest there, get some views. That one goes in spurts. Some videos on the Gibson Book will get 800, 1,000 views, some of the shorts, and then Majority are getting like 10 or 12 views. So thank you very much, Simpler. That will be a big help. I know Marvel's going to pick up steam again next year when the new Avengers movie comes out. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about Henry Cavill coming back to DC also, the form of Superman, which would be awesome if that actually happened. In my opinion, he's still the best cinematic Superman. Huh. Probably could do that. Do a simultaneous stream. Yeah, all I need is another way to mount one of these other devices and get on the Gibson hook and then leave this one on GCI. It's a pretty good idea. Doesn't work. I've got a lot of good help on here, that's for sure. I started a different version or another picture of the brown bat this morning. I wasn't going quite the direction I wanted, so I restarted it with this one, the redraw I call it. If you are enjoying this or like the type of art that I'm doing, if you could give it a like and consider subscribing, that would be great. I'm at, I think when I checked last, subs were at 1,235. Got one subscriber this afternoon when I got on to start drawing this. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Everybody who's supporting the GCI channel. Gotta use some really fine liner pens when you're doing the facial features on a drawing this scale. Otherwise you can start losing your detail really fast. Yes, thanks for the reminder, Simpler. Anyone who was interested. I'm gonna have to get some of my newer pens up and running. Those of you who are just joining, this is a version of the Batman that I developed called the Brown Bat. He is a British superhero version of the Batman. He has these biomechanical wings running on hydraulics. And these lines that look like veins are actually pumping hydraulic fluid through the wings. He's able to operate and actually fly. Yeah, I had some bats living in my attic, literally, for quite a few years. Finally had a bat expert put in a bat door, which I never thought of. And they're not able to get out of the bat door, but they can't get back in. So I haven't had any problem for several years, or I guess 2 years almost. Nothing more eerie than to hear bats in your ceiling and walls in the middle of the night, on the nights when it would start warming up. Pretty disturbing. Had one bat get into the bedroom in the middle of the night. Had to get him out of the house. So I've dealt quite a bit with bats, not just on paper. And in this area, we do, the most common bat is the brown bat, which is a protected species. So where we don't want them living in the house, we don't want anything to happen to them, because the bats are. Get some of this detail in here. Helps me to look at the screen I'm monitoring the channel with, so I can see what areas need attention. Sometimes when you're working so close to it, it's hard to get a real good grasp of where the details or what you need to add or leave out. But thanks again for everybody who has joined here this evening. Yeah, it's an eerie feeling when there's a bat swirling over your head in the middle of the night. And they can get into such small areas, it's really hard to find them once they lay low and moving around. Yeah, if anyone has any requests or questions, just don't hesitate. Just jump right in. We've got a pretty good community going here. So of comic book fans and art fans and DC fans. Yeah, somebody mentioned that this whole brown bat reminds you of a man bat, which I agree. I think I got some of my inspiration from man bat for the brown. After he mentioned that, I can't remember who made that observation. Yeah, you're right. Since he's basically using some elaborate type of sonar. That echolocation. I've been in this house, I think I've had 3 bats get into the house since I've been in here. But none since we had the bat door put in, so. I was actually going to start building boxes and put them out on some trees on the side of the house so that they would make their home outside instead of inside. But we hired an expert and said that took care of it. And the bat door's still in there. He was going to take it down after a year, but he never showed back up to remove it and seal up the spot where they were getting in. Yeah. To the back door, Robin. Go catch some mosquitoes for dinner. Old chum. And the bat door is basically just a tube. Comes down from their entranceway, but is a few inches from the roof line. So when they come back in, they have to land on something flat before they can crawl in. Well, they can't get up to the entrance of that tube after they put that in, so they can get up, but they can't get back in. It was actually pretty interesting to see how he did that to keep them out. Yeah, maybe they never left and they're just kind of really being quiet. Yeah, so in your when they find an attic, they hibernate in it until it warms up outside, and as it gets those in between warming up nights, but not quite warm enough for them yet, they start squirming around in there, out of hibernation. That's when it gets really noisy up in there. Very annoying. Yeah. So one trick, or technique, I guess. So if I want to draw a straight line from up here to down here without using a straight edge or a ruler, if I get my contact with the paper right here where I want to start and I just look down here where I want to go, and don't look at the pen, just look at your destination, you can draw relatively straight lines that way. So you look where you want to, that would have a little bit of the underboard, but you just start and smoothly go down to where you want to be, and keep your focus on the destination, not the starting point. Still, if I was doing this for an actual cover, I would probably go ahead and get the ruler out just to make sure. Put black lines on a finished cover that aren't straight in the way you want them to be. Because every time you look at that, you'll go, man, I wish I would have used a straight edge. Yeah. Oh, guano. Thanks everybody for swinging by for a few to watch the live stream. I like to share my artwork with people. For years I would just draw in my studio here by myself, and then about 7 years ago I started a YouTube channel, put content on for about a month or so, and then quit. Yeah, Ace Ventura is yeah. Especially when you got unwanted critters in your house. So I've got sketchbook after sketchbook full of drawings, and never really shared them with anybody until December of last year when I got my channel going again. And I started using that content for some short videos. And then not just like 2 months ago, I started doing live streams again. I never did any live streams before. I didn't have enough. I think I only got up to like 12 or 14 subscribers on that initial startup 7 years ago. So I didn't have enough subscribers to do live streams. First project though was a oversized cover with the Incredible Hulk on it. And right when I was starting, that's when Stan Lee passed away, so I dedicated that cover to him. Would anybody like to see that cover that started my whole channel 7 years ago? That's a good idea. A lot of the old Superman, Batman drawings, they do really well on this channel now that the algorithms kind of turn it more toward, DC fans. I can tell just by the reaction to different things I post on here. I'm going to pan this out just a little bit. This is the first project I did for the channel. It's not the first mock-up cover that I did, but it's the first one I did for YouTube. And that was when Stan Lee passed away, dedicated to Stan Lee. Hulk kind of just busting through a wall. This was 7 years ago. Let's see, 2019. Or finished it anyway. So that's where it all started. Yeah, muscles were always my specialty, so thank you, I appreciate that. I have to force myself to tone down the musculature of a lot of these characters like Superman and Batman that aren't that gigantic. That's what I like to draw on Hulk and absolute Batman. You can go crazy and make him as big as you can imagine. If you are enjoying it, please go ahead and give it a like and consider subscribing. That helps keep the channel being pushed out there by the algorithm. At least that's the theory of a lot of the different creators that I listen to. Well, if it isn't Olivia herself, Miss Ghosty. Welcome to live stream, Ghosty. Good to have you back. No, I haven't been making it easy with my live streams coming on at, what, 4 a.m. your time. To actually be able to join, so I was glad I could give night and get some of you, and Nick was here for a little bit or a while ago. And the gamer kid was here for a little bit. Yeah, I'm pretty. That's what I'm known for. Who do you miss already? Yep, she's not here today. She's at home. She's only here on the weekends. It's Saturday, usually just afternoon. She gets here, spends the weekend. Yep, she was looking for you the last time we were doing our step-by-step think she was teaching me how to draw a cat that day. I believe it was. Yeah, I don't know what we did with her cat drawing. Oh, here it is. Oh, you might have been on there when we did the cat. There was another one we did. She was looking for you. Yeah, I think you were on there when I added Batman to my cat drawing. Yeah, that was my cat with Batman and a Superman logo on the collar. Could make a robotic killer kitten, I guess, that Batman has to fight. Yeah, the Bat-Cat, the Catwoman. Absolute Catwoman. She's pretty cool. Gremlin mode, huh? Look what I just got in the mail today. Every color in the rainbow. 100 alcohol-based markers. That's always the best day ever when you get new pens. And the other day I got these. I haven't even used any of these yet. Microline pigment pens. Kind of a generic version of the Micron markers. Where is your home? New York State or New York City? I've never been to New York. It's a beautiful state, though. Lena's been to New York City. Saw the Statue of Liberty. Oh, you're in Tennessee now. Is that where your brother lives, is in Tennessee? Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of car guys in Tennessee. Yeah, he must have found something that works for him down there. Yeah, once you get a good spot, it's hard to uproot everything. If he's making a good go of it in Tennessee, you can see why he might want to keep him. So this is where the brown bat goes brown. Thank you, Jason. Jason Todd Red Hood. Okay, I see. I'm pretty sure Batman's my favorite too. Draw a lot of Superman, but I always come back to the Bat. Yeah, I incorporated the bigger ears. Brown gray. Bet you that looks cool. So this is called 104 brown gray. That's perfect for the Bat. It's brand new, so I'm not going to run out. Yeah, I like the taller ears sometimes. I like to mix it up. Thanks, Simpler. Yep. It's nice to have options on the colors again. Like we were saying earlier today, if I could just get a 3D printer and start making action figures of this brown bat, that would be even better. Figure out how to do that. Yeah, yeah, I think it is. Like the Absolute Batman. There's so many different versions. The Absolute has really long ears. Well, I have to get a 3D printer first. Yeah, I would like to do that though. I think that would be fun. Thank you, Jeff. It's just a little more practice is all. Oh, thank you, James. Well, hello there, Mr. Guitar. Thanks for stopping by. I'm in the middle of working on my version of Batman called the Brown Bat. He is from England instead of Gotham, and I think he might just be another son of Thomas Wayne that nobody knew about. Kind of going that way with his backstory. Brown Bat is BB. Yes, Brown Bat is British. He's a little skinnier than the American bat. I'm eating all that British food. Oh yeah, they used to make all kinds of crazy color combinations on the Batman. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to develop my own character. I've done a few different live streams of this guy, trying to get it down a little more. Work out the details as I go. Yeah. The suit's more leather than, the brown leather instead of black, whatever, Kevlar. Since gun violence isn't as prevalent in Britain, he doesn't need everything to be 100% bulletproof. And I like to use this light orange for the Yep, that counts. For the membrane between the structure, I like to use this light orange. Exactly. Marquis of Queensberry's rules, though. You hold your fists with your knuckles facing your opponent. A rabbit punch. Yeah, even if outlaw firearms, the criminals are still going to get their hands on them no matter what. Yes, proper fighting. Got to be a gentleman about pushing somebody's lights out. It's starting to come together a little bit. Is that what you've been doing all this time, gaming kiddo? Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. A rough and tumble. Take it from somebody who lives in England, know the terminology. Yeah, I worked earlier today. Got home at 3 o'clock. Central U.S. time. Yeah, I start early too. Start at 6:30 in the morning, somewhere in there, depending on what's going on. I want to thank everybody who's hung in here and been watching this live stream here tonight. It's been a pretty good crowd, off and on. Still trying to get established in the live stream part of YouTube. So for the face, I'm going with this 29 barely beige. Sounds rather provocative, barely beige. Almost blends in with this suit. I could tone down that suit a little bit. It's very open. Yeah, I think it makes a good background, and then that's how I can try to, when I get something behind it, I can make it, try like a trans like I did that one time when his leg was behind the wing. Yeah, they usually don't have very good tans in London, I don't think. Is that right, Zempler? You don't, it's hard to get a good tan in London. So I'll have to rethink his skin tone, if that's the case. Yeah, he's a tan muscle boy. He's a carnivore. Bats are carnivores. Not all bats. Fruit bats aren't. I'm arguing with myself. So there he is, brown bat. A GCI production. Thank you, Ghost. Appreciate that. I could be here all night working on this if I wanted to. Gets to a point where you're just spinning your wheels, seems like. Looking all over for a pen, and I'm surrounded by pens. Yeah. You get too close to it. Hello, James. I'll try one more thing and then I think I'll be done with this. markers. I can't find the one I want. I don't think that would be enough. Let's see what this does. All right, Ghosty. We'll see you later. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. So is Thursday night football on in London? Or is that a thing? And do you guys get to, do they broadcast Thursday night football in London? Well, all right then. I'll get the British TV listings and see if it's on. Because it'd be a weird time of day. Because it's like, what time is it? It's 6 hours later. Yeah, that wouldn't work out for nighttime football and American football in London. I thank everybody who's given the likes here today. It's nice to see you people are enjoying what I'm doing. So this is the revised one here. And this one was the one I started this morning. This is the one I started at 3 o'clock this morning. Yep, I kind of like the new one better. Yep, I like the new. I'm glad I started. Oh yeah, always try to get good lats in there. The first guy's lats. Yeah. Looks like he's flipping. Yeah, it's a good Batman drawing. It just, the overall Batman design does not look like the brown bat. It looks a little beefier, like the regular bat. Oh wow, you just put a mean twist on that. So put some spikes on him. You have to be careful not to puncture his bat wound, I guess, with the spikes. It'd be pretty simple to do is give him the absolute bat utility belt and some the only thing with spikes on your shoulders like this, if you raise your arms over your head like to swing from a rope, you run those stakes right through your skull. That's the only downside of having spikes on your shoulders. Like that. You'd have to be really careful about raising your arms over your head. You can make a 60s biker. With all the studs and spikes everywhere. Yeah, I kind of like that. And instead of gloves, we put the wrappings on his arms. I think it does too. Good idea. You could even put some spikes on the bottoms of his wings for these. Here I go. Getting into it. I'm starting to snap the lead off my pencil. Put some wicked spikes at the bottom of these structures in his wings. With the membrane attached to the sides. Oh yeah, and instead of his wearing his underwear on the outside of his pants, we would give him his boxers like absolute Batman. He's looking more and more absolute all the time. Could even thicken his arms up a little bit. Well, that wasn't hard at all, was it? Put some tattered already puncture in his wing. He's been catching them on the spikes when he's flying. Some tears in the membrane. They have this one. Actually drooping. Yeah, I might just have to finish this sometime. Thanks for the idea, Zempler. You just revived this that I was just going to abandon. And the thing about absolute Batman, as big as he is with the tall ears, he would be impossible for him to walk through a door. He'd have to double over and squat down low to get through an average doorway. You'd have to have all kinds of headroom in the Batmobile with ears like that. Bet you those guys didn't think of that when they're putting them monster ears on him. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap up this Batman session. I want to thank everybody for all your participation. Zempler, thank you once again for helping me get through it. And turn it back to the brown bat to wrap up. Thank you everybody for the likes and thank Ghosty and even Gamer Kiddo and a few new faces we had here tonight. The Guitar Man, thank you for that, showing up. And we will see you guys on the next one. Simpler.